revenue-generating methods don't allow publishers and businesses to offer an enjoyable, ad-free browsing experience. We need a new solution that brings everything together to benefit businesses and users alike. That's why we made Gather. Gather is a blockchain-based network that improves the online experience for users, generates additional revenue for publishers, reduces cloud computing costs for enterprises, and makes running a proof-of-work blockchain easier. Instead of spamming users with ads to generate revenue, Gather runs in the background of your site, and with each user's consent, aggregates their idle processing power. Then it distributes said power to enterprises for cloud computing and to developers for cryptocurrency mining. Publishers receive payment in cryptocurrency or fiat, users get to enjoy an ad-free browsing experience, and developers deploy their secure blockchains without the need to find new miners. Ultimately, it's a virtuous cycle that radically changes digital monetization and revenue generation to provide a superior experience for the end user. Join Gather today to be a part of the future.
Okay, very glad to meet you, Ayhan. Can you please introduce yourself and your project a little bit?
Of course. Thank you for having us, first of all. My name is Ayhan Gungor. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Gather. I've been into sales and marketing for about 18 years now. Worked in manufacturing space before I came to blockchain space. In the past 3 years, I'm in blockchain space, basically. And for the past year, I'm together with the Gather team. So in Gather, we are trying to monetize websites, online businesses, not only websites, applications and websites you can consider it. We are trying to give an alternate way to publishers to let them have better user experience, to present better user experience on their sites. Basically no one likes ads, yeah? Banner ads, they are popping everywhere. They are covering all the page. We hate them all, and they are also tracking you. There are privacy issues. You search for something like something about cooking, then you see lots of foods around. So what we try to do in Gather, we try to give an alternate way to the publisher, either to remove ads at all, or to use with ads to generate more revenue. But in the core, we want them to remove the ads, eventually, so the visitors can have a better user experience. And Gather does not hold any data. No user data is held by Gather. We respect the consumer privacy. So we want users to have a privacy-centric, enhanced user experience, basically, via our tool. That's the main part of the project. If I talk about the team a bit, we have a very experienced team, if I might say. We are around 30 people right now, 6 core team members, 6 advisors, around 10 developers, and around 10 marketing, community management sort of roles. So in our core team, we have Reggie, of course, as the CEO and the founder, who made this idea came true, and Farooq. Farooq is the CFO. He's been in and out of these financial firms like KPMG, Grant Thornton, etc. And our CTO has over 20 years of experience in the cloud space, Fusion Software, with firms like NCR, etc. And most of the team has experience over years. For example, Reggie has had a successful exit before building this company. And in our advisor team, also there are shining stars, if I may say, like our technical manager, technical advisor, Vyacheslav. He is the ex-senior level executive of Opera. Most of you guys should know Opera. I think it's a web browser, big web browser. He also worked in Status, SMT, in and out of blockchain and technological space. We got Nareen, ex-director of Publicis. Publicis is a big marketing and communication firm, 18 billion firm. We got our strategic blockchain advisor team, Charles Reed, maybe some of you heard him, Bradley Townsend. Charles is the founder of Greystone Capital. Bradley is working with him as well. They've been advising to many projects like DIA, Orion, Verum, Reed, Geek. So they are. I mean, we got roots in the blockchain industry. I can tell. We got John Kim. He's the chief strategic officer of Luxor at the same time. And most of the team has good backgrounds in big companies such as MSL Group, NCR, KPMG, as I said, Nexans, and all. So from the team perspective, we got everything in place. We are growing day by day. I can tell you that. Because there are different needs showing up as we progress, and that's more about the team. I can tell you. By the way, I can also show you some slides as we go through, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, I'll do that next time.
yeah. So that's pretty experienced team that you have. Sounds like real Avengers team. Referring to your explanations of your project, you have mentioned that you guys want to get rid of ads in web browsing. That sounds to me like Brave browser. What is the difference between you guys and Brave browser?
Yeah, good question. First of all, we are talking about a browser when we talk about Brave. Gather is browser or application agnostic, if I may say. You can just take a line of code and put it through any website. You don't have the requirements to download or maintain, update some software on your PC or phone, whatever you use. So one of the biggest difference, we don't have such limitations from that perspective. And it's the model-wise, again, there's a selection of payment in Gray's model. In our model, we are rewarding the publisher for the time spent. It's not a pay-per-view kind of model in our case. For example, on a streaming site, video streaming site, you are spending maybe 10 minutes, 40 minutes. I mean, it can go longer. So we try to get the best of this length rather than showing 5 seconds of clip or one banner ad. So it scales with the time spent, with the possibility to reward the visitor as well. In our case, with Gather's loyalty program, the publisher can choose to share some percentage of the earnings with the users as well. So with the visitors, if I can say. So the main differences are these, I think. It's pretty easy to integrate Gather. It's a line of code. So users will not be able to deal with, using another software in our case.
Yeah, that sounds like an amazing idea, I think. So as a Chrome user, I think that's an option for me too. How did you guys actually come up to this idea?
Well, I wasn't there, frankly speaking, when the idea was born. Reggie was advising to another advertising group, and he was tasked to find an alternate way to monetize the website back then. And at the time, the coin hype, maybe you are familiar with the coin hype, the in-browser miner, which has done everything in the wrong sense back then. So Reggie noticed this, how the coin hype works, and actually tried to patch the broken parts of that model. In our model, everything is transparent. We ask the user explicit consent. We take their explicit consent. Then users' power enters to Gather's ecosystem basically. So first, there was the transparency part missing in the old browsers, old in-miner applications. And then there were some heating, throttling issues with the performances because they were using maximum of what they can get. Gather is basically fixing these things. In our minimum viable product, we have tested all of these. And we are basically coming up with a correct model which includes, which needs to include its own blockchain as well to be successful. In the end of the day, your processing power is used for mining some crypto. In our case, it will be mining GTH coin in Gather network, and this will be only open to verified websites or applications. Okay, so everyone has to understand this. This is a permission shield, and as you get whitelisted on our program, your website will be able to mine basically either Gather, or we are doing something called merge mining. Together with Gather, there will be other coins with the relevant algorithms we mine. So this will be only possible for the verified websites and applications. So it's not going to be ASICs or GPU rigs coming up and breaking this model. The mine coins will be split by the websites and applications. That's all. That's the beauty of it, and that was the missing part of it as well back then. And basically, at the time in 2018, Reggie came up with that idea and built on further. So that's what I can tell.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was kind of a not too short story. Can you kind of briefly describe what would be the unique selling point of your project? So what's the biggest thing that might attract users to Gather?
For sure. I mean, I consider it as the alternate monetization way. That's a powerful argument. we can say that there are other aspects for this, of course, but the alternate monetization is something everyone is looking all the time. All the websites are trying to make ways to generate additional income.
Me too.
Everyone. I mean, so it's a product that will sell itself. Once it's out. We already have, by the way, around 350 publishers on board. And what I haven't told you till now is we take this processing power basically and sell it to the enterprises and developers. So it's not just mining for these websites. As a company, Gather Enterprise, we will be making deals with the enterprises to provide affordable compute power, like cloud compute power we are talking about. So we already have two big enterprises for that. Godrej Industries, 4 billion revenue company, which will be using Gather Cloud. We are testing with them at the moment. It's not live, but we are testing with them. We got also ASAP Fluids, another company working in the oil and gas sector. We are building customized cloud task solutions for them. So we will take the power on one hand and we will redistribute it. And while doing that, the publishers will also be earning from the cloud revenues. You see, we are trying to create a circular economy here. So eventually, we want to reward publishers as much as we can, and we want them to get rid of ads in the meantime. But we understand that in the beginning, people can be suspicious or would like to generate more revenue. There will be cases like that. So we expect that the product will be used together with the ads for start, or in some cases where there are free registered users, these websites, for example, if you are providing a free streaming service, you can just put it as an alternate way to get some contributions from your visitors. There are multiple ways of doing it. One of the first applications for this is very interesting, by the way. UNICEF, everyone knows UNICEF, I guess. UNICEF made a children page. It was called the Hope page. And they were using CoinHive, basically, cryptocurrency mining back then on that page. And it was a successful project because if you go to a charity website, you would like to contribute. I mean, of course, you may not, it's a preferential choice, but I would, I mean, why not? Because I will be doing something for the good of the world without even moving my hand, So it's a powerful idea from different aspects.
And they can't show any ads, right?
Yeah, they can show any ads, but they can use your processing power to make something better, to change the world.
That's what I mean. UNICEF showing a random ad would be really awkward. I think you guys, provide a much natural solution to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, once the product is live and kicking, it will scale a lot. I mean, it's very hard to predict right now. But for example, think about Wikipedia, foundations. These foundations are in need of making more money eventually, and this will be providing them a tool to utilize if it would be okay for their policies, etc. since we are doing everything in a transparent, secure way and supporting it with a blockchain, I don't think there will be issues around anything basically, because we got rid of privacy concerns. We don't hold data. Everything is on the blockchain, so you can see it transparently, and you know it scales with the time user spends. So why not? I mean, it can go to very, it can reach to big places eventually, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really looking forward to that scenario.